Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another deck report. This is Season 6X, week number 7. Yes, you can do that meme if you want. I came with a revisit to the Radiant Typhoon Ritual Beast deck. Some changes were done since the last list, and I really do think this is more than just an experiment at this point. After playing a few more matches, I played at a Phantom Revenge case tourney this past weekend, which I ended X2. One of the people that defeated me pulled the entire Enneacraft core on one of their part of their cases. So stay tuned for that in the future. But for now, I kind of wanted to keep playing this deck. I do think this deck has a lot of legs. I think this deck can only be improved more and more. One of my losses was completely out of my control. My other loss was because I bricked. Like, I bricked pretty much on non-engine. My hand was like doubled roll one of the Typhoon spells, which got Ash, and like I think it was like one of the trap cards. That's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that being said, I'll get straight to a list. I'll talk about the changes that I made, and we'll talk about more changes in the near future because I really do think this deck has what it takes to beat like the current format decks that are already really good. Which, funnily enough, are the decks that people are making a ban list around. If you've been watching the Yu-Gi-Tuber scene, you've already seen that a lot of people are making ban list predictions at this point. I kind of do have my own take on it, and I do want to make a video talking about that because I feel like we're very close to a format that people wanted in recent years, but not many people have acknowledged it as of yet. That being said, enough ranting, let's get straight to the list. So, for the Typhoon cards, we're still on the 3 Eldam, we're still on the 1 Suin, we added Megala now, and we're still on Crocea and Ponyx. In the future, this is 50 cards. If I do bump the deck to 60, I will max out on Suin, I might max out on Megala, and I will probably add Varun and max out on Crocea and probably max out on MST. The Typhoon cards were great all day. I had no issues with them whatsoever. I even learned a few combos, which I am going to show you in this video, that involves the Typhoon cards alongside the Ritual Beast cards. Speaking of Ritual Beasts, you got the 3 Kanahawk, the 3 Rampengu. These are the 1-card combos of the deck. We got Lara, which is the best extender that the archetype has. Like, almost every 2-card combo involving Lara is just really strong and can play through almost anything. We got Elder, Lara, Wen, Winda, Apelio, and Petalpin. This is basically like the Memento ratios. Like, if you play the Memento strategy, this is very similar. Like, you have like 5 to 6 1-0s in the deck. You have the same thing in Ritual Beast. This used to be a 3 of. The reason we're now playing 1 is because with the Typhoon cards, like, your combos are just way more robust in this deck. The whole purpose behind Elder is just to open it alongside your other Ritual Beast cards. You really don't need that many Tamers, at least on this particular build of the deck. You'll see what I mean by that later on. So yeah, that's it for like all the real monsters. And then we got 3 Fua, and we moved Shifter to the main deck. Like, this card is just really good not to play in the main deck. Like, the format, it like almost nothing in the format kind of like beats this card. You can make the argument for Mitsurugi, but only pure Mitsurugi can play around Shifter well. All the hybrid versions, like, they struggle against Shifter because they need that other supplementary engine to make work alongside your Mitsurugi engine. So, no regrets on Shifter. I only drew it once the entire weekend, but obviously I did win that match where I did drew it. Spell cards, you got 3 teleport, you got the 3 book, you got the 3 vision, you got 2 chance. I gonna up this to 3. Like, after this weekend, I just realized just how really strong chant is. Like, again, one of my losses this past weekend was because I bricked. So I kind of want to make sure the deck is as consistent as possible. The 1 MST, 1 Call by the Grave, and I'm playing the Inheritance at 1. The same logic as Elder. We're not relying on just Ritual Beast as our primary engine, so it's fine if you like replace those engines with the Typhoon cards. Trap cards, we got the 1 Steeds, 3 Imperms, 3 Dominus Purge, and the new addition to the deck. And I have no regrets playing this card as well. This card actually won me like 3 games. Triple Dominus Spiral. So I guess we can talk about Spiral real quick. The only conflict with this card, the only real card that conflicts with this, it's the Lara and 2 of the Ritual Beast monsters, like, they are in the extra deck. Outside of that, I guess it conflicts with Anima and SP Little Knight and Typhoon, but those are like very minimalistic conflicts. This card is really good. For those who don't know what this card is, this is essentially compulsory evacuation device. But if your opponent activated a monster in the hand or graveyard that turn, you can activate this from your hand. If you have no traps in grave, your opponent can reborn one, which is one of the downsides. Sadly, this card does have that downside even if you set it. If you do activate from your hand, you can activate lighter dark monsters. This is primarily a wind attribute deck. There are other cards that we use in this deck that tutor our engine. They are not lighter darks. So I feel like this card was just very welcomed in a strategy like this one. Adding to that, if you pair this alongside these other traps, this card is just very, very strong. Like, the entire meta, like, if you think about it, like, this can bounce Rippers back to hand. Like, this can, if your opponent does your entire Yomi Mitsurugi combo, or they're trying to go, like, end on Murakumo or Futsu as part of their end board, you can use this and bounce the Futsu or bounce the Murakumo. You can use this to bounce IP Masquerena when they try to do that on the typical end board. I won a game against Yomi because I was trying to contest their board. They had Yomi Snatchy on board, and I just used this to enchain to the Snatchy to make sure the Snatchy didn't resolve properly. So, yeah, MVP of the weekend. This card, I really encourage you, if you have a deck that can play this card, to actually play this card. This card is actually not that bad. You don't lose to Call by the Grave. You don't lose to Izuna with this as well. It's just really, really strong. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. I don't think there's too many differences to explain. I guess we can talk about why we added back Megala. Like, Megala is another addition we put back into the deck. if you saw the last deck report that we talked about with this deck, I brought up how Megala makes it so you can summon something from your extra deck a lot easier. You'll see what that card in the extra deck is in a moment, but that's primarily the reason Megala is in there. There are a few combos that I kind of discovered with the deck that are just a lot more easier and streamlined because of the existence of Megala in my main deck. Megala is also another reason why Chant should be played 3. I kind of just didn't want to go above 50 cards with the deck. But I think you can get away with playing 60. But yeah. Now let's go to extra deck. Anima, SP, Cherubini, Harpy Conductor, Double Kimufalcos, R.T.R, Sarjuya. This is the card we were talking about. We'll talk about him in a moment. 2 Conahawks, 1 Nokudrago, Ulti Apelio, Gaia Apelio, and the last 2 monsters are Bamboozling Shadow and Typhoon. Let's talk about the side deck real quick. I do kind of want to talk about the side deck because the side deck didn't do that much for me this past weekend. Maybe with a different side deck, it would have been better. But we're on 2 Perulia, 2 Meows, 3 Nibiru, 3 Droll, 3 Retaliating Seas, and 2 Feather Storms. I only Feather Stormed 1 person. And yes, I did draw the Featherstorm with Sarjuya. That did happen. I can confirm that. I think I drew into it with Sarjuya, and I had Crosea in hand, which is like the winged beast that you need for this. You can also make our Harpy Conductor, and the Harpy Conductor also enables this. It's really cool because if you go second and you play this essentially becomes a hand trap by just making the Harpy monster. I almost never did that, but the option is there for you to just play this card because it's really so easy to summon this card in this deck, especially this variant. I didn't face Draco Tail this past weekend, so I can't say anything about the Retaliating Seas. I want to talk about Droll in a moment. So, one of my other losses was to Crystron K9, and my Crystron opponent played around this Droll games 2 and 3, and I opened Droll both games. If this Droll probably was any other card, or probably would have been an engine card, I probably would not have lost that match. But I opened double Droll 1 game, and I opened 1 Droll and drew into the second Droll another game. And I had to make really awkward plays to play the game. And even with those awkward plays, I still lost because I misplayed. Which is one of the downsides of you being far behind your opponent when your hand isn't the greatest against them and they already made a board against you. But if you guys are interested in seeing like the pro play that I did, because I broke through I played through the entire Crystron K9 board with just this Droll and Emergency Teleport. If anybody's curious how I did that, feel free to write in the comments, and I'll probably will make a video talking about it because it is one of the reasons I really like this deck a lot. Ritual Beast is one of these decks where its engine is really strong and can play through boards if you open like decent. But yeah, that's it for this. Let's go here. So I also lost that same match that I talked about because I forgot that Typhoon was on my extra deck. Uh, this card actually did put in work. I did summon it enough times. I almost thought about cutting it, but it stayed. I never summoned Blue Shadow, but this card is mainly here because this deck is weak to Nibiru. Uh, Nibiru is one of those cards that really uh, is like very strong against this deck, especially if you don't play around it. Everything else seems standard. I thought about cutting one Konoha, but yeah, the situation will come up where you will need the second one. So let's talk about Saryuya real quick. Saryuya is one of the main combos that we do in this deck. I will showcase you a few combos that it uses Saryuya. And at first I thought this was very niche. I thought that only K9 was able to pull off this card better than other decks. But this card can pull off Saryuya, and Saryuya in a deck like this one is really good because, again, if you've ever played Ritual Beast, like in your past life, you already know that this deck is known for not being as consistent as other like strategies. Just having a card that can just fix your hand in a combo deck like this one is just very, very welcomed. Um, and you can then turn this Arguya into like SP, or you can turn it into the R.T.R. And like you can even make the argument to just keep this Arguya on board. Um, in in Burst Protocol, if this card is still like legal, right? There will be a combo in this deck that will make Heretic Seal, and it involves Saryuya. So if you're curious about that, stay tuned. I will update this deck for Burst Protocol in the future, and yeah, expect some spicy stuff that actually does make sense in this deck, like very soon. All right. Um, Everything else I think is just standard. I don't think we need to change anything here. Like, I thought about cutting Cherubini, but Cherubini does come up. There is a few combos in this deck that just work really well with Cherubini. All right. So, who's ready for some combos? I guess I'll show you this one. This is a really cool one that I came up with. So it is Eldam plus teleport. We're going to start with Eldam. Eldam goes and adds us another Typhoon. We're going to add the Suin. We're going to special the Suin. This is a turn 1 combo. If you're going second, obviously, like, these are not special summons. Unless your opponent has no spell traps, but you know. So with Suin, you're going to add us the Chant. We're going to activate the Chant, and this is where the Megala comes in. So there are two variations to this combo. I'm going to show you the combo without Megala first. So the combo without Megala is you overlay these two, or I mean, not overlay, you link away those two into Cherubini, and with Cherubini, you're going to dump Wen. And then the Wen is in the graveyard. You're going to use emergency teleport, and the teleport is going to summon us Spiritual Lara. You grab the Lara, and the Cherubini. There are two ways to do this. There are multiple ways of doing this. I'm gonna show you my favorite line first. My favorite one is you grab these two and you make SP Little Knight. You use SP Little Knight to banish the Lara. You use Lara's effect to summon from the deck. The one that you'll be summoning is specifically Rampengu. You're going to use Rampengu, and with Rampengu, you're going to banish and dump. So, and this is where the second Kanahawk comes in. You're going to banish the Kanahawk, and you can send the regular Kanahawk. So we're at this point. You're going to banish the Kanahawk and the Wen. And you're going to contact fuse into the Ultinoku Drago. So we're at this point. You can grab the Noku Drago, place it back to the edge of the deck, and then you're going to special summon the Wen. And if you notice here, we got our Ritual Beast into rotation. So we're going to banish these two. Grab Kanahawk. Or another thing you can do is before making this, you grab these three and you make ulti R.T.R. R.T.R, grab the Kanahawk, and then you extra normal the Kanahawk. And take note, you still have your normal summon. You can also grab the Lara here, and it really depends on the rest of your hand. Now we're going to show you the other variation of the combo. So we're going to put these back. This is still in the deck. This is still in the deck. These are on board. We still got the teleport, and we still got these. Right? So the other variation of the combo that we can do is you activate the Chant grabs us Megala, you can special the Megala, and now you can teleport into Lara. So we're at this point. Grab these two. Make Cherubini. Cherubini will dump us the Wen. You're going to grab this Lara. We're gonna link it away into Anima. So we're at this point. You banish the Lara and the Wen, and you make the Noku Drago. You use Lara's effect. You special the Kanahawk. So we're at this point. Use the Kanahawk. Banish from the deck. I like banishing Winda here because Winda is both a beast and a tamer. We put back the Nokudrego. We bring something back. You can bring back the Lara. I mean the Winda at this point. You can banish them again. Or before banishing, something you can do here is you can grab these three or these four, and that is your Sarguya. Or you can keep the Lara and you can make R.T.R. And like you can just banish these two, make the Kanahawk put back, add, and then depending on what you add, you still have your normal for turn. So you still have your normal summon, but you still have the extra normal summon from the R.T.R. And at some point, you will summon the Kimufalcos, and you have the extra normal summon from the Kimufalcos. So those are like some variations that you have. We can go for a few other ones. I'll show you Rampengu and Eldam. So you go Eldam into Swen, special Swen, you add us Typhoon Chant. You can alternate between cards here. One other option that you have is like grabbing the Typhoon, the MST, or just grabbing another spell. But we're just gonna grab Chant here. We're going to grab these two. Chill Beanie again. Chill Beanie. You dump the win. Normal Rampengu. Rampengu going to dump Lara. Banish these two. Summon the Nokudrego. Lara's effect. Summon from the deck. Kanahawk just banishes here. Nokudrego put back. Special. You can banish these two into Kanahawk. Kanahawk will add and tag out, so you can put back the Lara and special these two, or you can special the Lara too. You haven't special the Lara this turn. Just be cognizant of every special summon that you're doing, because every Ritual Beast is just once per turn. You add any Ritual Beast card at this point. Like, one that I like adding a lot is Inheritance. So that's like one of the options. And you can Rampengu for Apelio, or Rampengu to another thing, and just make the Kanahawk and add again. Or you can just grab all of these and make the Saryuya again. And yeah, and you can just keep going depending on what you have. So that's one of the combos. There is another one that you can do. That one involves teleport and Eldam as well. So we're gonna do Suin instead of Eldam. You'll understand why. So you go Suin for Chant. Chant, you grab the Eldam, and then you special the Eldam. And with Eldam, you're going to grab Corsair. So we're here at this point. Grab these two. Chill Beanie. We're dumping the Wen. And now we teleport. Teleport for Lara. And because we activated a quick play spell, Corsair gets triggered. So we're going to summon the Corsair, and Corsair is going to add. Something I like adding here is MST plus Vision. You can also do MST plus Ponyx. That also works. It really depends on the rest of your hand. We can just do this one. Ponyx plus MST. We'll just put this Vision on the side. So we're at this point. So you probably noticed we are wing locked because of the Corsair, which means we cannot banish for ulti Noku Drago. But we still have access to ulti R.T.R. So if you manage to get a Ritual Beast banished prior to this, you can go R.T.R. and then R.T.R. grab something back, and with the R.T.R. you can make Kimon Falcos, and you can use Kimon Falcos to banish the Lara from your graveyard for your extra normal summon, and then the Lara gets triggered. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind just when it comes to the Typhoon cards and the Ritual Beast cards. There isn't perfect synergy. There is no one card bridge like you have with Mitsurugi Yomi or stuff like that. But prior to the Typhoon cards, Ritual Beast was just a very inconsistent deck. Imagine Memento, but with a little bit more bricks and with less starters. That's what the deck was before this. Now, this deck is looking... I think Malice is a little bit better as a deck, but with all the really cool gimmicks that you have, the Typhoon engine is just really strong. The fact that the deck can play Dominant Spiral and Purge as well is also really strong. And post Burst Protocol, this deck is just going to get even stronger. So stay tuned for that when the time comes. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found this informative to your liking, understanding. This is one of the more creative decks that I built in a while, ever since the Super Quantum Malice deck. And I do have other really cool creative decks coming soon. Stay tuned tomorrow, Wednesday. I will profile Enneacraft. I am still missing cards for the main deck, for the actual deck report, like this one. but if you saw my community post, I've been testing it a lot online, and it has been doing very, very well. All right, that's it from me. Keep practicing and keep dueling.